Welcome to a Saturday edition of the Nintendo Wiretap. My name is Amiibo Jason, and on today's episode, I want to cover two stories. The first, our first in-person look at some brand new Amiibo, and number two, a brand new Pokemon that was unveiled during a 24-hour live stream. So, without further ado, let's take a look. Alright folks, I'm sure you know this at this point, I'm obsessed with Amiibo. I love them, they're magical little toys, and I'm really excited for the upcoming wave of Amiibo coming out in November. That's Chrom, Incineroar, and my personal favorite, Simon Belmont. And it looks like we finally get our first look at what these Amiibo look like in person, not promotional shots. Now, all of these images came from a festival that is going on right now called First Look, and they all come from Nintendan. If you're unfamiliar, he tends to do a lot of really cool European stuff in the Nintendo community. So if you want to check out these pictures on his official Twitter account, I have the link to those in the description down below. Alright, let's take a look at the first one, and of course, we're going to start with Chrom. Now, Chrom is definitely not the first Fire Emblem Amiibo, in fact there's quite a few. Actually, now that I think of it, this isn't even the first Chrom Amiibo that's out there. But my oh my, does this Amiibo look absolutely stunning. Now, I've said this before, anytime I compare Amiibo, I always go back to what came first, and the first wave of Amiibo were really nothing like the Amiibo we see nowadays. Now, Chrom looks absolutely great. His face is pretty much perfect. I can't imagine how this could look any better. His cape is flapping in the wind. I mean, everything about this is so incredibly well detailed. And like I said before, in comparison to Amiibo that came out just a few years ago, Nintendo has come a very, very long way to make these Amiibo look amazing. Alright, next up we have Incineroar. Now I'm excited about this Amiibo for a lot of reasons. I think the first one would be this is going to be the last Amiibo that's coming out in the Pokemon line, at least for the Super Smash Bros. Series, so I'm excited that we're finally getting this one in the collection. Incineroar is obviously a newcomer in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, so it is really neat to see him in Amiibo form. And the plastic here looks like it's doing a pretty good job at emulating Incineroar's fur. Everything is really well textured, and I would say this is one of the better looking Pokemon Amiibo that we've seen so far. And of course, Incineroar's fire belt is made of this kind of transparent red and orange plastic. It really has this really nice look to it. I'd say the closest thing I could compare it to would be Mario's Fireball all the way back when Amiibo first came out. But in this case, it looks really nice. And he looks huge. He's pretty much pouring off of the base. Once again, another absolutely fantastic job by Nintendo. This Amiibo is definitely going to look amazing next to all of my other Pokemon Amiibo on the shelf, for sure. Alright, finally, this one is probably my favorite of the collection because, well, I'm a big fan of Castlevania. I mean, when Simon Belmont got announced for Smash, I nearly lost my mind, and it took me some time to even realize that we're getting an Amiibo of him too. So this is our first time actually seeing him. Once again, he is a big boy. He is pouring off of the base. And dare I say, I think these images even look better than the promotional images that we saw when these Amiibo were first announced. His face looks great, everything about his costume is nice, and of course my favorite thing about this has to be his chain whip. It's really cool. I love the way it bends. It's definitely one hard piece of plastic that looks like it's flexible, and this is going to be one of my favorite ones to add to the collection. Now, I can't wait until Richter Belmont comes out as well to finally complete the Castlevania collection, but this one definitely is exceeding my expectations. I am picking this one up on day one. I mean, I pick all of them up on day one, so that doesn't mean a whole lot, but I'm even more excited to pick up this one on day one, if that makes sense. Alright, if you want to pick up any of these three Amiibo, they come out next month on the exact same day as Pokemon Sword and Shield. That's November 15th, 2019, so just over a month away. Now, what do you guys think about these Amiibo? Are you as excited as I am? Do you think they look amazing? Let me know your thoughts on these in the comments down below. Let me know if you're going to pick these up too. Alright, finally, the Pokemon live stream is over, and if you're not familiar with what I'm talking about, in celebration of Pokemon Sword and Shield, they set up a staged live stream where they put a camera in the Galar region and they let it roll for 24 hours, and during the entire process it was pretty slow going. There was a whole lot of nothing going on during this live stream, but Throughout the entire thing, we got glimpses of what appeared to be some sort of unicorn Pokemon, and now that the live stream is over, we have a much better look at what this thing looks like. And if I had to guess, even though this hasn't been officially confirmed as of yet, this looks to be a Galarian Ponyta. And if I had to put money on it, I would say it's going to be a fairy type. Now, this is definitely a Ponyta, at least based on what I can see, and it has this absolutely amazing flowing mane. Instead of fire, it looks like it's this just kind of translucent cotton candy looking texture that glows. And it has a big bushy tail, at least one of them does. One of the Pokemon in the live stream for some reason didn't have a tail at all. I'm not sure if that was an oversight or if for some reason we're going to see variations of this Pokemon when the game comes out. The other thing to keep in mind is that this Pokemon has a horn. Now, in the original Pokemon, Ponyta did not have a horn, but when it evolved into Rapidash, that's when the horn came on. So, this is definitely going to be a different variation. Now, there is a chance that this is a completely separate Pokemon outside of Ponyta, but the eyes on this thing are pretty much identical to Ponyta's eyes. So if I had to put money on it, like I said before, this one is definitely going to be a Galarian fairy type Ponyta. Now, I love this thing. I have a daughter who's obsessed with unicorns, and she saw this thing and pretty much geeked out. So we're really waiting for official confirmation from the Pokemon Company to name this thing and let us know exactly what it is, even though I think we all have a good idea of what that is. Now, I love this thing. There's something about unicorns that I think are really special, so I am definitely looking forward to adding this one to my Pokedex. Now, once again, I'm going to bring this one back to you. What do you think about this Pokemon? Are you excited? Do you think this is a Ponyta? Let me know your thoughts on this one in the comments down below. And that's going to wrap up our Saturday edition of the Nintendo Wiretap. I'll see you soon with yet another episode, but as always, until then, stay wired in. Bye, guys.